First order of the day. I was a bit of a douchebag in my last video, I think. I lost my rag with a guy that admittedly was being dirty himself, and then I took proper revenge and then quit. So, sorry for that, folks. It's not really a good example to be setting. But there we are. That's racing sometimes. We're all dickheads. Just some of us are bigger dickheads than others. Today I'm going to try and learn a little bit about camber. Let me just go into my settings sheet quickly. I've been reading up a little bit and looking up a little bit. What did it for me was looking at all these cars going around the Goodwood Festival with loads more camber on the front wheels than I would have. So on all these cars I've set the rear camber to 0. I'll be working on that afterwards. I like to work on one end of a car, or at least on one thing at a time. Sorry, one thing at once. If you start messing with too many things, you don't know whether the difference you've made mattered or not, or how much difference it affected. So try and stick to one thing. With that caveat, what I've learned through reading is that camber and ride height are quite related. As you lower your car, you add camber, it seems. So I've set up 3 settings sheets here. Set 1, set 2 and set 3, and as you'll see, as the ride height drops from 140 to 127 to 113, I've got my camber increasing from 1.5 to 2.2 to 3. I got those settings from a website, those numbers. They're not really the accurate numbers for this car. They're guesstimated numbers, and I will be adjusting them as I go along. I basically saw some setup sheets for some racing Miatas, MX-5s, and it seemed that, you know, around 1.5 degrees was fairly normal for a stock suspension, and like for absolutely slammed to the floor, like 5 degrees, 5.3 degrees, and that feels like a lot to me. I'm never going to slam my car to the lowest it can go, and I'm never going to put 5 degrees on it. But, well, I might do just for experimental purposes or for fun. You never know, it might surprise me and I'll learn that it's fucking amazing, but I doubt 5 degrees of front camber will be a good thing. I mean, this can go up to 6, so you never know. I've picked a fairly small circuit because the best way to do these things is just to do laps, compare your ghost. So with that said, I might as well just get out there. I picked a small circuit just because you get quicker results after a fashion. I don't want to be doing a 3-minute lap every time, or several 3-minute laps, to find out how my progress is going. I just need to plug my wheel in. That's what I'm looking for. Bear with me just 1 second. There we go. Right then. So, I suppose first thing is just drive a few laps. Let's just get this thing set up right. Okay, it's a bit drifty. See, maybe I should... Well, I don't want to be fucking with everything at once. Maybe I should be running 1 degree of camber on the rear on all my setups. Keep them the same across them, but I don't know. Because I did have some camber on the rear, I just took it off, assuming that what I've plonked on there isn't necessarily right, and that I should start with a clean sheet. Should look at what the default rear camber was and stick that on. The other thing is, across all these setups, I'm gradually lowering my suspension, but I haven't got different damping setups, and really If you're going lower, you should be stiffer and damp and more damped. One would think with stiffer springs you need less damping because they're not going to move as much. So, I don't know. Or maybe you keep the springs the same but increase the damping as you lower the ride height. Really need to concentrate on not oversteering too much. I'm just going to turn my volume up a little bit so I can listen to my tyres. Yeah, I'm getting a fair amount of rotation out of the body at this height. Understeer there. It's probably more to do with me than the car though. Understeer here as well. Low 57s is where I'm going to be at. Might just get it into the 56s after like 10 laps of trying. Not on this lap. And do just a few more laps on this setup. I might do 10 laps in total. There's not much point in comparing averages because and not much point in for the same reason in comparing peak lap times. I was going to say, because I am just going to get quicker as I settle in and warm to the car and the track more. I should talk less and drive more. But you know, by the time I've done 30 laps of this in 3 different setups, I would hope I'd be a bit quicker anyway. So I'm just going to have to go purely on feel. Which do I prefer? And I suppose after doing the test, which I can be most consistent with, then I suppose averages do matter. But concentrate now. That was silly of me. Oh, I might have just got away with it. Hello, hello. The viewer that's just joined, I'm doing a test to assess camber on this car. So I'm just doing a few laps, at fairly low camber. I should concentrate. And then I'm going to reduce the ride height and raise the camber as I go along. Right. 3 more laps. That was shoddy. I'm into the 56s just. Okay, that's 10 laps. Just out of interest, optimals 56.3. Where's my average? Can't see my average. It normally gives you average. It's giving me my best and my optimal, but not my average. Oh well, fuck it, it doesn't matter. Next setup sheet. Sheet 2. So I'm 13 mil lower and 1 point something degrees more camber on the front. I'm not going to go immediately flat out here. I'm just going to build up to it. Oh dear. It's not a good start. Oh, come on. There's other things I feel aren't quite right with the car, but I don't want to change anything else while I'm doing this. I want to just mess with the camber and then fix the other things afterwards. I think my brake bias needs adjusting. I'm getting a little bit too much push from the rear end as well, so that could be down to rear camber, that could be down to rear diff, but I don't want to mess with it while I'm doing this camber test. Come on. That's better. Definitely feels more solid. Got much more stability changing direction from that left-hander to the right-hander at the top of the hill there. Yeah, look, I've took half a second off my record. Or have I? I think I have. I'm not concentrating there. I'm off. I know, it's more stable, but I think the less stable car was faster. I don't know. I think my average is better already. Later gear changes help, but it doesn't really answer the question of which suspension setup's better. That just tells me where to change gear. Oh, my dog's come in and let the door open, and now I'm cold. No. See, maybe I do need that extra damping. Whoa. Nah, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's easier to catch. I would have been going backwards there on the softer suspension. That's not very good. So that's not going to count either because I went over the line with a penalty. Carry on anyway, it's only for my own judgment, it doesn't really matter. Before I go on to setup 3, I'm going to try setup 2 with firmer dampers. And then I'll try setup 3 with standard dampers and firmer dampers. And then I will repeat the entire experiment with half a degree of rear camber and a degree of rear camber and a degree and a half. Well, that's that. Car felt better. I don't think my times are better. There's too many 59s on that fucking board. 58s and 59s. I was low 57s all the way through except for a few 56s. So, I think damping. I'm also going to go and shut my door quickly. Right then. Don't do anything else, but do shut the door. Whoa. This feels different. .57.2, okay. I need to keep my averages well in the low 57s really if this setup's the answer. I also need to concentrate. Right, come on. Lots of 59s again. Okay, now. Might save the video just for the replay of my car drifting through turn 1. Might make quite a nice photo. better. There we go. 56.6. 641 was actually my best in the previous run. Something like that anyway. No. I might have cut that. No penalty yet. Pushed it a bit hard there. Fucking cone. Two more laps. Bestia. Oversteer. Understeer. Fuck me. Yeah. Most of those bad times are driver error. The setup is in general better. I'm just not a very consistent driver. No. Oh well, that's my 10th lap. Oops. Right then, set up 3. just quickly have a look at those damper settings. In fact, it's going to be quicker to just go back to setup 2 and put 113 and 3 degrees on it. 3 degrees there. See, I probably really should have some rear camber as well now. Leave the damping alone for now. I'll do what I did before. Increase it if I feel it needs it for being lower. It probably will need more damping for being lower, and possibly a higher spring rate as well. I don't know. This is how we find these things out, is by fucking trial and error. I'm replaying instead of racing, dickhead. Okay. Dear. Okay. So you're just getting a good exit out the last turn, so I've got a clear view helps. I haven't got a button configured to get rid of the ghost car. I should really, but I've got so much going on my wheel, I haven't got a button left for it. Probably have if I get rid of something that I don't use. I can't think of anything now. Hazard lights I don't really use. Could get rid of them. Certainly don't need them in this mode. I like to have my hazard lights when I'm online though. Let's make another start at another lap. It's going to be a 58 if I'm lucky. Oh, it's a 57.6. I haven't done that since test 1. I think I had a few slides on test 2, but not proper spins. I might be wrong, maybe I did. I'm going to have to go back and watch through the video myself just to really look at the times and see what happened. Over the fucking place. Prod of the throttle was a bad idea. But reasonable exit speed. Slower in didn't help. Try faster in. Wasn't really much faster, was it? A few 57s on that board, but there's also a 1 minute and 5. This is going to be a bad one. Might recover it here. Lucky bastard. Cut. Well, there'll be some nice drift shots from that. Not from that. And that's fucked lap 10 as well. Maybe not if I get... well, we'll see. I'm undecided. I'm really undecided. My consistency's gone down as I've gone along. And I think my time's gone up just because I've practiced, I think, you know, my peak time. But my consistency's gone down, so I reckon if I went back to setup 1, I'd probably be faster still, and my consistency might come back a bit. Although this extra camber does make it easier to handle mistakes. It does make that opposite lockery easier. Let's give it one more lap. I know I haven't done 11 in any of the other setups, but right then. Yeah, same as before, increase the damping. So you really do have to add that damping when you lower the suspension. It just feels better. Feels more solid again. Although it might be entirely psychological. I might just be an idiot that doesn't know how to drive consistently. On the out lap. That was a bit much, but it wasn't slow, you could see. No. pushed it a bit too much. Hopefully I put that cone right across the track and not into it. Exit. Not the fastest lap, but I got a good exit there. I should be automatically, you see I'm already in the blue. Get a 1/10 of a second bonus for the next lap. Nice entry, keep the speed on, keep the speed on, keep the speed on. Fucked. Okay. Seven, 8, 9, 10. I'll do my last 4 laps. I don't know. This has raised more questions than answers. I suppose that's what happens. You adjust one thing and then other things need doing. Like I said, I wanted to fiddle with my brake balance. I think it was better around 2 degrees than 3. I'm reckoning around 2 at the front, and I know it'll need less at the rear, probably about a degree at the rear. I'll have another look at what stock is on the car. Mm, 57, 59, 57, 58, 58. It's not too bad. And like I say, I think the concentration went after about the first 20 laps. And my dog's being annoying. Go away, dog. I'll play with you in a minute. I was going to go on and do a daily race after this. I probably will do, but I'm going to have a coffee and take the dog out for a minute, and then restart the live stream for me daily race. Go on, I'll do one more lap. This is the start of lap 10. Come on, car, we can do this. Like I say, my concentration went. I think this setup is firmer. I think I prefer it. Well, I know it's firmer, and I think I prefer it. I suspect, having had a break, my consistency shall return a little, and I think this setup, well, no, like I say, around the 2.2 degrees seemed about right. Maybe tweak the brakes a bit, because I'm not entirely happy with my braking into turn 1. Or at the end there. Although if I get it right, I shouldn't have to brake anywhere but turn 1, really. Probably a bit soon. And you can definitely change down late here. See, that helps. And then after that, if you get it right, you don't brake through any of these. You just lift off at the right point. Alright, I've cut a corner a bit. I'm just trying to get through all the bends without braking. That's a different exercise, though. I suppose it's not, because getting it right is not braking around here. There you go, I didn't brake through any of those corners. And what was it, a 57.8? So don't fucking brake. It's probably more important than having a good setup. Learn to get round without braking. I remember reading a thing in a car magazine years ago, and the guy was driving something moderately quick. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was an Alfa Romeo, and he says there was an old guy in front of him in a fairly modest family car, and he was struggling to keep up, this car tester. And he was like, you could tell he was a good driver because you hardly ever saw his brake lights. And yeah, it's that conservation of momentum that matters. You don't have to have all the power in the world, just don't slow down too much for the corners. And also it's the weight, what it does to the weight transfer as well when you brake. If you can get through the corner on throttle control, you've got much better control of your weight transfer. And it's something that's really difficult to be aware of in a simulator as well. Weight transfer and G-forces and all that kind of stuff. That's why I like to have my volume on my tyres so loud, because you know, you don't really hear tyre screech until you're really fucking over the limit in a real car. But you need that extra tyre screech in a computer game to tell you what you're not getting from G-forces. Anyway, that's enough for now. Time to have a coffee and let the dog out. See you later, guys.